So a literal equation is just an equation that involves more than one variable. So we're going to treat these just like we did in the previous week. We're just solving equations, but instead of numbers, um, we won't get a specific number out of an equation, we'll get a formula. So let's look at the first example. It's a really familiar example. It's the area of a rectangle. The area of a rectangle equals length times width. So let's just say that your direction for this one was solve for L. Well, we're not going to get a value for L. We're just simply going to get L equals some stuff on the other side of the equation. So if you look at it, L is multiplied by W. So if two things are multiplied, the way to undo that is to divide. So we're trying to get L alone, so we just need to get this W out of the way. So on the right, these W's cancel, and we'd just be left with L equals A over W. And I know I flipped that, so the L is on the left. I just do that because I'm used to it. Okay, so we have something like this. We have an X and a Y in this, and the direction might say solve for Y. Well, Y is right there. There's nothing attached to it, so this is actually going to be a pretty simple problem. So we would just subtract 2x. And so on the left, those would cancel out. We would have y equals 3 minus 2x. And we can't combine those because the 3 doesn't have a variable with it at all. So this would just be 3 minus 2x. So you can see we're slowly adding more stuff into these. So this one says solve for y. And so just like the last one, we're going to try to get everything away from y. So subtract 2x. And then you have 3y equals 4 minus 2x. And then this last step is just to divide. So we have 3 times y, so we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. And so y equals 4 minus 2x, all divided by 3. And you don't have to try to simplify that, separate it, nothing like that. You just leave it exactly how it is. Okay, so this is a different type of things. We have this b down here. So that's what we're solving for. So how do we get it into the numerator is the question here. But essentially you just do the same thing. So we're going to move things away from b first. Now you don't have to. I could clear that fraction out, but it looks easier once you move everything away from it. So I'll add 3 to both sides. And so we'd have 2 over b equals a plus 3. And then we need the b in the numerator to solve for b. So what we do is just the same thing we did with everything else to clear out fractions. So we're going to multiply both sides by b. And so on the left, the b's cancel, and you have 2 equals a plus 3 times b. And this can be a little confusing sometimes. So normally we would distribute this b into that or something like that. You might just be used to working through things like that. But in this case, since we just have one single b in there multiplied by something, and we're solving for b, we just have to divide by a plus 3. You divide by the whole thing. So b equals 2 divided by a plus 3. Okay, so we'll just do this last one. And I encourage you to rewatch the videos. If you feel like it's going too fast, you can put the videos in half speed, double speed, whatever you want. So in this case, we're solving for y. So y is kind of embedded inside of this thing, so we need to get everything away from it. So we subtract 4. On the right, we get negative 2. On the left, we'd have 2x times 1 minus y. And this one's going to look, this is a challenging problem, so If that's multiplied by 1 minus y, the 2x's. So what we're going to do is divide by 2x, because we're really trying to get everything away from y. And one thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to adjust this problem. I'm going to say plus y. So I think it'll give a clear example of what we're doing. So on the left, we can cancel these 2x's, and we have 1 plus y equals negative 2 divided by 2x. And so y is not alone yet. We need to subtract this 1 from both sides. And y equals negative 2 divided by 2x minus 1. And we could just do one thing here to simplify this because it's not a difficult step. Cancel out the 2's and we'd have a 1. So this would just be y equals negative 1 over x minus 1. Okay, I think I said the last one was the last one, but this is actually the final problem. So this one says solve for m, and m's embedded in there, so we need to could do several different things. Again, these don't have to be started the same way every time. What I'll do though is subtract this x, and so 3x minus 1x is 2x, and I'd have 12m plus 2. And I could divide by 12 here, but then I'd have a division issue. So what I'm going to do is, which I will have at the end, but I'd like to do that at the last step. I would distribute this. 12m plus 24 equals 2x. Okay, we're solving for m, so we subtract the 24 to get 2x minus 24 equals 12m. So 12 times m, so we're going to divide by 12. Divide by 12 on both sides for everything. And in this case, let's do some simplification. I'll write this twice just to be clear about it. So this would be 2x minus 24 over 12. So what I can do with this, we talked a little about this last week. We can separate this fraction. Just like that. And we can do some canceling. So m equals, we can cancel a 2 out of that and a 2 out of this. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Couldn't think about it for a second. And so that would be 1/6 x, and on the 24 divided by 12 is 2. So this would be our solution.